Prince Zakthor of the Hegemony stood before the assembled Galactic Council, his forearms gesticulating dramatically as he delivered what he considered the speech of the millennium. His crystalline exoskeleton caught the light of distant stars streaming through the council chamber's transparent dome, casting prismatic shadows across the floor where representatives of 100 worlds sat in silent attention. Honored delegates, Zakthor's voice resonated through the chamber's acoustic enhancers. We gather today to discuss the most absurd petition in galactic history. The humans, those primitive bipeds from the third rock orbiting an insignificant yellow star, dare to request membership in our ancient and noble hegemony. A ripple of what passed for laughter among the various species echoed through the chamber. The Vorthak delegation clicked their mandibles in amusement, while the gaseous ethereals shifted their containment fields in patterns that indicated mirth. Zakthor raised his primary arms for silence. Let us examine the facts, shall we? These humans have barely discovered faster-than-light travel. Their longest space voyage extends a mere handful of light-years from their homeworld. They were among themselves over resources as abundant as hydrogen in space. They have not even achieved basic telepathic communication, relying instead on crude acoustic vibrations and electromagnetic signals. The prince paused, allowing his words to sink in before delivering his crescendo. What could such a backward species possibly contribute to our great civilization? They are weak, divided, and utterly without the advanced capabilities we have cultivated over millennia. I move that this petition be rejected, and that humanity be quarantined until they evolve beyond their current limitations. At the back of the chamber, in the designated area for petitioning species, Commander Sarah Chen sat perfectly still. Her dark eyes never left the prince as he continued his theatrical denouncement of her kind. The other members of Earth's diplomatic mission shifted uncomfortably beside her, but Chen remained motionless, her expression unreadable. Perhaps, Zakthor continued, his voice dripping with condescension, in a few thousand years, when they have learned to shed their primitive biological forms and achieve true enlightenment like the rest of us, they might be worthy of consideration. But today they are nothing more than clever animals who have learned to play with fire. The council erupted in approving sounds from dozens of different species. Zakthor basked in the approval, his exoskeleton shifting through a spectrum of colors that indicated supreme satisfaction. It was then that Commander Chen stood. Your Highness, her voice cut through the chamber without amplification, clear and steady. Might I be permitted to respond? The prince's color shifted to amused yellow. By all means, little human. Enlighten us with your primitive wisdom. Chen walked slowly to the center of the chamber, her soft-soled boots making no sound on the polished floor. When she reached the speaking platform, she didn't ascend it. Instead, she remained at ground level, looking up at the elevated seats of the council members. You speak of evolution, Your Highness, and of shedding biological forms. You mock our reliance on what you call crude vibrations and primitive biology. Chen's voice remained calm, almost conversational. But I wonder, when was the last time any of you created something new? A confused murmur rippled through the assembly. Your civilizations are ancient, yes. Advanced, certainly. But when did the hegemony last produce anything truly innovative? When did any of your species last adapt to genuine adversity? Chen gestured toward the assembled delegates. You have uploaded your consciousness to crystalline matrices, achieved perfect longevity, eliminated disease and want. You have conquered every challenge your species once faced. Prince Zakthor's colors shifted to an irritated orange. And what, pray tell, is wrong with perfection? Nothing, Chen replied simply. But perfection is also stagnation. You call us weak because we still inhabit biological forms, but that weakness is also our greatest strength. We adapt, we overcome. We grow stronger through adversity, not in spite of it. She reached into her jacket and withdrew a small device, a simple metal sphere no larger than her fist. This is a human innovation. We call it a possibility engine. It uses quantum uncertainty principles to generate novel solutions to problems by harnessing the chaos inherent in biological neural networks. The chamber fell silent. Several council members leaned forward. Impossible, Zakthor scoffed. Quantum uncertainty cannot be harnessed by biological systems. The interference patterns alone would destroy any perfect system, yes, Chen interrupted. But humans aren't perfect. Our neural networks are chaotic, inefficient, and wonderfully unpredictable. We can interface with quantum uncertainty because we are uncertainty. Every human brain is a living quantum computer that thrives on randomness. She activated the device. Immediately, holographic displays materialized throughout the chamber, showing mathematical equations and engineering schematics that none of the assembled civilizations had ever conceived. In the past 72 hours, Chen continued, this device has solved 47 problems that have stumped your finest minds for centuries. The hegemony's energy crisis solved. The Vorthak reproduction decline solved. The ethereal containment field instabilities solved. Prince Zakthor's exoskeleton had shifted to a deep purple, the color of shock among his species. How is this possible? Because we're still wild, Chen said simply. Because we haven't perfected ourselves out of the ability to grow. Because our primitive biology gives us something your advanced civilizations have lost. The capacity for true innovation born from chaos and conflict. She looked around the chamber, meeting the optical sensors, compound eyes, and various other sensory organs of dozens of species. You ask what humanity can contribute to the hegemony? We can save you from yourselves. We can bring back the one thing your perfection has cost you, the ability to evolve. The silence stretched for long moments before Counselor Vexhai of the Eternal Throne spoke in her species, harmonic language translated instantly by the chamber's systems. The human speaks wisdom. We have indeed grown, comfortable in our achievements. Other voices joined in. Clicks, harmonic vibrations, electromagnetic pulses, all expressing variations of the same theme. The gathered civilizations were beginning to recognize something they had lost in their pursuit of perfection. Prince Zakthor's colors shifted rapidly through the spectrum before settling on a deep blue, the shade of humility among his people. Commander Chen, he said slowly, I believe I have made an error in judgment. Chen smiled, the first expression she had shown since entering the chamber. Your Highness, making errors is what makes us strong. The question is, are you willing to learn from them? 3 months later, the hegemony voted unanimously to accept humanity's petition for membership. Prince Zakthor, in an unprecedented move, formally abdicated his position and requested to serve as an apprentice to the human research teams. As Commander Chen later wrote in her report to Earth Command, sometimes the greatest strength is admitting you have something to learn from those you consider weak. It turns out the galaxy needed us as much as we needed them. They just didn't know it yet. The age of human integration into galactic civilization had begun, not through conquest or dominance, but through the simple demonstration that in a universe of perfected beings, the beautifully imperfect still had infinite value to offer.